Okay, sorry. So I welcome everyone for today's Srimad Bhagavad Gita class. Hare Krishna. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Yasodhanandana Rajajanaranjana Yasodhanandana Brajanaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari बोलिए बोलिए चलो जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जोर से बोलिए यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी जया माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीर वनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Jaya Radha Madhav Radha Madhav Radhe. Jaya Jagannath Jaya Baldev. Subhadramai Jaya Sudarsana. Jaya Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, श्री श्री राधा माधव की, श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा माई की, श्री श्री गौर निताई की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। हरे कृष्णा। So I welcome you all for this Bhagavad Gita class today, Sunday feast class. And every Sunday we are discussing from Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So as of now we are on third chapter. Few months ago we started from beginning and now we are on third chapter. So today we will be discussing text number 14, which is very important verse, which describes how all the living entities they live. So if we go back to second chapter, so in second chapter Krishna tells Arjuna that by using your intelligence, or you can say buddhi yoga, you keep away from fruitive activities. So Arjuna thought that I have to take sannyas. But in the end of chapter second, Krishna told Arjuna that you have to fight. So Arjuna became confused that why Krishna is giving me like two contradictory instructions. First he is telling that I have to keep away from fruitive activities, and then he is telling that you have to fight. So these are contradictory instructions of Lord Krishna. So in the beginning of the chapter, Arjuna inquires from the Lord that, my Lord, I have been confused. I have been put into confusion because of your two contradictory instructions. So please clarify what is good for me. So then Krishna begins to speak that. He speaks in the beginning of third chapter that he is saying, not by merely abstaining from work can one achieve freedom from reaction, nor by renunciation alone can one attain perfection. That only renunciation is not the way of perfection. You have to work according to prescribed duties, according to the Vedas, scriptures. Whatever is the way which is prescribed by the Vedic scriptures, you have to work in that way. And in these slokas, Krishna goes on describing about the prescribed duties, and then he tells about the sacrifices and how this world is going on. He says that when he tells about creation, how this creation happened and how it is going on. He says in 10th sloka that in the beginning of creation, the Lord of all creatures sent forth generations of men and demigods, along with sacrifices for Vishnu, and blessed them by saying, "Be thou happy by this yajna, because its performance will bestow upon you everything desirable for living happily and achieving liberation." So, in the beginning, Lord created human beings and demigods also. And then He gave them the procedure of sacrifice. Sacrifice means whatever act is performed for the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu, they are called sacrifice, yajna. So He gave the procedure, and He told that by performing these sacrifices, you will live very happy life and ultimately you will achieve liberation. So He gave that procedure. But we all know that not all the people are same. And why we have come in this material world? We have come in this material world because we disobeyed Krishna in the spiritual world. That's why we are here. So Krishna did not expect everyone to follow the instructions. He knew that many people will be there, will not follow the instructions as it is. They will perform sacrifices. So He warned them. He first of all said that the demigods, being pleased by sacrifices, will also please you, and thus by cooperation between men and demigods, prosperity will reign for all. So we'll see in this sloka, 0.14, that there are like different sacrifices which are prescribed for pleasing the demigods, so that demigods will send whatever necessities are for human life. Just like one thing is rain. Rains are very necessary for human beings to live, because we will see in this 14th sloka that by rain only grains are produced, and by grain only human beings they subsist. So Lord Krishna is telling that by cooperation between men and demigods, prosperity will be there for all. And then he wants that in charge of the various necessities of life, the demigods, being satisfied by the performance of yajna, sacrifice, will supply all necessities to you. But he who enjoys such without owing them to the demigods in return is certainly a thief. So Krishna has appointed so many in charges of different fields. Just like for raining, Indra is the in charge. For light and heat, sun god is in charge. For vegetation and all, moon god is in charge. So different demigod in charges are there. And Krishna is telling that performing sacrifices prescribed for them, we can satisfy them, and in return they will give us all the necessities of life. But he's telling that who does not perform these sacrifices and just keeps enjoying by himself, then he is a thief. And then in next sloka he says, the devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. Others who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment verily eat only sin. So in this sloka he is telling that if one does not perform sacrifices, he is a thief. And in next sloka he is telling that if one does not perform sacrifices, one who does not offer back to the demigods or Lord Vishnu, then he is only sin. So the person who does not return in the form of sacrifices to Lord Vishnu or demigods, then he is sinful and he is a thief. So Srila Prabhupada says in purport that by not offering back to demigods or Lord Vishnu, we become both sinful and thieves. So how can we expect peace and prosperity in the society of sinful people and of thieves? There cannot be peace and prosperity. And we can see now in present and in the modern society that people are becoming atheistic and they are not caring for demigods or God. They are just going on whimsically on their own. And that's why there are so many problems in the society, because people have become thieves and sinful people. So there is no peace and prosperity in the society. So today we will discuss text number 14. How this process goes on, how this cycle goes on, that we will get and we will offer back to Lord Vishnu or demigods. Then again they will send to us, and in this way cycle goes on happily. So text number 14 we will recite. Is it there? Okay. Annat bhavanti bhutani parjanyad anasambhavah yagyat bhakti parjanyo yagyah karma samudbhavah अन्नात् भवन्ति भूतानि पर्जन्यादन्न संभवः यज्ञाद् भवति पर्जन्यो यज्ञः कर्म समुद्भवः अन्नात् भवन्ति भूतानि पर्जन्यादन्न संभवः यज्ञाद् भवति पर्जन्यो यज्ञः कर्म समुद्भवः. Anyone can recite, please? Any first line. अन्नात् भवन्ति भूतानि पर्जन्यादन्न संभवः यज्ञात् भवति पर्जन्यो यज्ञः कर्म समुद्भवः अन्नात् भवन्ति भूतानि पर्जन्यादन्न संभवः यज्ञात् भवति पर्जन्यो यज्ञः कर्म समुद्भवः अन्नात् भवन्ति भूतानि पर्जन्यादन्न संभवः यज्ञात् भवति पर्जन्यो यज्ञः कर्म समुद्भवः. कोई और? अन्नात् भवन्ति भूतानि पर्जन्यादन्न संभवः यज्ञात् भवति पर्जन्यो यज्ञः कर्म समुद्भवः. Okay. Word to word meaning, translation and purport given by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Word to word meaning. Annat, from grains. Bhavanti, grow. Bhutani, the material bodies. Parjanyat, from rains. Anna, of food grains. Sambhava, production. Yagyat, from the performance of sacrifice. Bhavati, becomes possible. Parjanya, rain. Yagya, performance of yagya. Karma, prescribed duties. Samudbhavaha, born of. Translation. All living bodies subsist on food grains which are produced from rains. Rains are produced by performance of yagya, which is sacrifice, and yagya is born of prescribed duties. So this purport is very long, so we will read and discuss simultaneously. For that we will recite Mangalacharan prayer. Om Ajnanamindasya Jnana Salaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadhamayam Dadati Swapadantam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Padkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Sha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Sajim Sadvaitam Navedutam Parijanadaitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhantam Sha. Every one of you can recite behind me. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shri Mate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve गौरवाणी प्रचारे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशारिणे नमो महावदान्नाय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतुसे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोकांत राधाकांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कंचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। So I will read purport and we will discuss also. Purport. Srila Vidya Bhushan, a great commentator on the Bhagavad Gita, writes as follows: Ye indradye angtayavasti tam yagyam sarveshwaram vishnum abhyatachesham asnanti ten taddeyatram sampadayanti te santah sarveshwarasya yagsasya bhaktaha sarukilbiser anadikal vibdher atmanubhava pratibandhaker nikhilai papair vimchante. The Supreme Lord, who is known as the Yag Purush or the personal beneficiary of all sacrifices, is the master of all the demigods who serve him as the different limbs of the body serve the whole. Demigods like Indra, Chandra, and Varuna are appointed officers who manage material affairs, and the Vedas direct sacrifices to satisfy these demigods so that they may be pleased to supply air, light, and water sufficiently to produce food grains. When Lord Krishna is worshipped, the demigods, who are different limbs of the Lord, are also automatically worshipped. Therefore, there is no separate need to worship the demigods. So here Lord Krishna is describing worship of demigods, or you can say sacrifices for the satisfaction of demigods. So one may question that why Krishna is doing that. If we have read Bhagavad Gita, further in Bhagavad Gita Krishna says that you just worship me only. But he is telling that you perform sacrifices for the satisfaction of Vishnu. So he is telling for the people who are not ready to accept the supreme authority of Lord Krishna, means don't want to accept Krishna as the supreme master, and they just go on worshipping different demigods and many other living entities whimsically without any knowledge. So for them he is telling, and also for atheistic people who don't accept Krishna as God or supreme controller. So for their benefit he is telling that you don't worship me, at least you worship these demigods, because without worshipping demigods you cannot be happy. Either you have to worship me. If you worship me, then you not to worship anyone else. But if you don't accept my authority, then you have to accept authority of the demigods for the time being, till they realize that I am the supreme person. So Those persons who are not realized of the supreme authority of Supreme Lord Krishna, for them Krishna has prescribed so many sacrifices in Vedic literatures. Find there are so many Vedic literatures, and there are methods, different methods are prescribed for worshipping different demigods, for gaining different benefits. Just like it is said that one who wants money, he should worship Lakshmi. One who wants, like for ladies, one who wants good husband, they have to worship Lord Shiva. Like that, so many worships are prescribed. But in Srimad Bhagavatam, we see that at the end of describing all these things, it is said that there is no need to worship all these demigods, because whatever you can get the demigods by worshipping them, it can be gotten by worshipping Lord Krishna also. Because Lord Krishna only is the person who gives them power to benedict the worshipper. Demigods are not independent people. They are dependent on the power of Lord Krishna. Prabhupada gives example of body. Just like these demigods are, what are they? They are just like limbs of the body of the Supreme Lord. Just like I have hand. So if you worship hand and you ask something, until I want, I desire, this hand cannot give you anything. Isn't it? Only when I will feel that, oh, he's worshipping my limb, then I will give power to this hand to give you something. So similarly, Lord Krishna, these all demigods are the limbs of Lord Krishna's body. So when someone worships the demigods, then Lord Krishna sees that he is worshipping, at least he is accepting the authority of the demigods. He is not being an atheist. So give him what he is asking. So then demigods are able to give. They cannot give anyone, any worshipper, independently anything. They are fully dependent on the mercy of Lord Krishna. But the Vedic scriptures like Bhagavad Gita, in the end of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says to Arjuna that whatever I have spoken, now I will speak to you the highest knowledge, the most secret. And he says, Sadharma parityajya mamekam saranam varja. Aham tvam sarupapebhyo mosishyami. That you give up all this nonsense, worshipping demigods, worshipping so many other living entities, and just surrender unto me. Just worship me, and I will fulfill your all desire. I will make you free from all sinful activities. Just like we worship many demigods to get some relief from our sinful reactions. Because of sinful reactions, we get so many difficulties in our life, miseries, so many pains, diseases, and all these things. And to get relief from these, we worship different demigods. But Krishna says, you just worship me. Shri Radha Madhav ki, Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Mai ki, Shri Gaur Nitai ki, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So Krishna says that you just worship me. You don't need to worship everyone else, anyone else. Just worship me, and I'll make you free from all the sinful reactions. And he guarantees that you don't fear. Don't fear. It's like we may doubt that how Krishna will do that, but Krishna is telling, don't fear. I will do it. Because he is the supremely competent person. He is supremely powerful, supreme controller. He is controller of everything. So nothing can move or nothing can happen without his sanction. He says, everything is in control. So here it is told that when Lord Krishna is worshipped, the demigods who are different limbs of the Lord are also automatically worshipped. Therefore, there is no separate need to worship the demigods. For this reason, the devotees of the Lord who are in Krishna consciousness offer food to Krishna and then eat, a process which nourishes the body spiritually. By such action, not only are past sinful reactions in the body vanquished, but the body becomes immunized to all contamination of material nature. So this paragraph is telling about our eating food. That if we don't offer food to Lord Krishna, if we don't offer bhoga, भगवान को भोग नहीं लगाते हैं, so it may be either vegetarian food or non-vegetarian food. Non-vegetarian food is grossly sinful. Hmm? It is not able for human beings. Those who eat non-vegetarian food, they are simply animals. They are not human beings. But vegetarian food also, if it is not offered to Lord Krishna, जब भगवान को भोग नहीं लगाते हैं, तो it is also sinful, and it gives full reactions for us. And because of that, we get so many problems in our life. Why there are so many problems? That is because of our sinful activities which performed in the past lives, and we are performing in this life also. So both good and bad reactions, they depend on our activities. So food, whether it is vegetarian, even if it is vegetarian, if it is not offered to Lord Krishna, then it is sinful, because everything, whatever eatables we use, they come from living entities. It is said that jivo jivasya jivanam, that the material world is designed in such a way that one living entity is food for another living entity. To maintain our body, one living entity has to kill another living entity. Just like human beings, for them, what is prescribed? Patram, puspam, phalam, toyam. These things are prescribed, vegetarian things. But they also come from living entities. Vegetations are also living entities. Just like पेड़ पौधों में भी जीवन होता है. They are also living entities. So, if we use them without offering to Lord Krishna, then it becomes sinful. Whatever sin they involved in killing these trees, plants, so that come upon us. But here is told in last sloka, Yagya Shirasina Santo Muchante Sarva Kilbise, that if we offer that food to Lord Krishna, then it becomes sanctified. That sin is removed completely. The contamination of sinful reactions, it is removed completely, and then we eat that food, that is called Prasadam. Just like distribute in temple, Prasadam, after offering to Lord Krishna. So that becomes sanctified food, and it nourishes our body and mind and our consciousness spiritually, and we become advanced in bhakti also, and we start recognizing the supremacy of Lord Krishna. So we should not eat without offering to Lord Krishna. We should offer food to Lord Krishna and then eat as prasadam. That is the only thing which is prescribed for the human beings to eat. Otherwise, everything else we are eating, that is sinful, and we just continue our cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease. So according to Bhagavad Gita, these are the main problems of life. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukh dosanu darshanam. So for generally the people who don't have knowledge of these four things, Janma mrityu jara vyadhi, for them it is like normal. They think these things are going on with everyone. So it is normal only, so what to worry about them. But when we understand from the Vedic scriptures, Bhagavad Gita, then we see that these are the main problems of life, and these are root causes of all the problems of life. It's like if we take birth, as soon as we take birth, immediately disease, old age, and death, they all come in package. They are just waiting for us, and at like fixed time, they will appear to us, and we cannot do anything. We are helpless at that time. They are forced upon us according to, or you can say as a result of our past activities. So that's why if we want to come out of this cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease, if we want to avoid or escape all these problems, then we have to accept the supreme authority of Lord Krishna and worship Him only. And whatever we eat, it's like Krishna says, Yat rosi yad asnasi yad juhosi dada yat tapasyashi konteya tat kurushva madarpanam. That whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you give in charity, whatever tapasya or vrat, whatever you perform, just do it for my satisfaction, according to my instructions. Krishna says, then you will free from the reactions. Otherwise, if we perform whimsically, मनमाने ढंग से हम लोग करेंगे, तो we will we will be like perpetually in the cycle of birth and death, birth, death, old and disease. We don't know like since how long we are there. We are here in this material world going through this cycle of birth, death, old and disease, and we are kept in ignorance by Maya Devi. Maya Devi is keeping us in ignorance, but Krishna is very merciful because he is our supreme father. Krishna says that pitaham asya jagato mata dhata pitama, that I am the father, I am the mother, I am the grandfather also, and I am the maintainer of all living entities, or you can say his whole world, jagat. Pitaham asya jagato mata dhata pitama, I am everything. So because he is the supreme father, he is worried about us, that we are suffering the problems of birth, death, old age, disease, and many other problems. So he comes to tell us. Maya's job is to keep us in ignorance, but being faithful to his own children, Krishna comes to to teach us that please don't rot in this material world. This dukkhalayam asaswatam. Dukkhalayam means this is the place of miseries, and it is temporary. Temporary. Nothing is permanent in this material world. So please don't suffer, my children, and you come back to me. Krishna says, and he sends his representatives also, different acharyas, different incarnations, many different type incarnations. Why he comes? So that we become to him and go back to our home, that is Lok Vrindavan, spiritual world. But Srila Prabhupada said, we so stubborn, हम जिद्दी हैं, and we are so foolish that we want to remain perpetually in this material world and suffer the problems of this birth, death, old age, disease. These are the main problems, and there are so many uncountable other problems also. But just like ignoring them and just going through these problems again and again, life after life, and suffering helpless without being unable to anything. But Krishna comes and enlightens us through this Bhagavad Gita and many other things. So one example is given that how this sanctified food, which is like prasadam, how it nourishes our body and consciousness, and how it keeps immunized from the effects of material nature. Just like when there is an epidemic disease, antiseptic vaccine protects a person from the attack of such an epidemic. Similarly, food offered to Lord Vishnu and then taken by us makes us sufficiently resistant to material affection. Who is accustomed to this practice is called devotee of the Lord. So, just like here, one example is given. Just like we saw, we have all gone through this corona epidemic. So, to protect ourselves from coronavirus, we got vaccinated, so that further we will not be contaminated by this coronavirus and get the disease. So we have got vaccinated how many times? 3 times, I think. 3 times. 3 vaccinations. So it will protect us. Similarly, this food, sanctified food, prasadam, Lord Krishna's prasadam, this also acts like a vaccine against the effects of Maya. If we eat prasadam only, then Maya will not affect. Maya's effects will be neutralized by the effect of prasadam, by the power of prasadam. So all of you should offer food to Lord Krishna. जो आप सब घर में बनाते हैं, उसको हमको भोग लगाना चाहिए और फिर उसको प्रसाद के रूप में ग्रहण करना चाहिए. Therefore, a person in Krishna consciousness who eats only food to Krishna counteract all reactions of past material infections which are impediments to progress of self-realization. So, in our life we get so many problems. Even if we don't want them, still they are there. Time to time they are coming. One problem solved, next problem will come. Then that is solved, the next problem will. They are coming continuously. And how to protect ourselves from these problems is told. If we eat food offered to Lord Krishna, we counteract all reactions past material infections, which are impediments to progress, to the progress of self-realization. By eating prasadam, by taking prasadam, we can count all these problems of life. Because by eating prasadam, our consciousness will be purified and we will gradually develop attachment to Krishna. And as we develop attachment to Krishna, then this material infect cannot infect us and really counteract them. On the other hand, one who does not do so continues to increase the volume of sinful action, and this prepares the next body to resemble hogs and dogs to suffer the result reactions of all. And अभी ये जो नहीं करते हैं उन लोग के लिए चेतावनी है. This is one for the people who do not act in way Krishna is telling. Krishna tells that you offered food and then eat, but one who does not do so, so for him what reaction is waiting? That he continues to increase the volume of sin actions. तो उसका पापों का घड़ा बढ़ता रहेगा. Gradually the volume of sinful reactions will increase and they have to become next life कुत्ते बिल्ली सुअर इन शरीरों में उनको जन्म लेना पड़ेगा, पापी शरीरों में. और इसलिए why Krishna does this? Because we are not ready to follow Krishna's instructions in human life. Human life is very responsible life, and in this life we can understand Krishna's instructions and we can follow them. But if we are not doing that, that means living an irresponsible life. And what is irresponsible life? It is animal life. Animals are not responsible for anything. They do anything and everything, everywhere, anywhere. So, if we are not following rules given by Krishna, Vedic scriptures, then we are preparing ourselves to become in this life as animals, lower animals, hogs, dogs, cats, etc. So, we should be very careful and follow Krishna's instructions. Otherwise, Krishna says that because he is the Supreme Father, he fulfills the desires of all the living entity. If some living entity has the desire that I will not eat according to rules and regulations, then Krishna will say to Maya, give him the body of a pig. So pig doesn't have to follow rules, regulations. He eat anything and everything up to stool. He can eat. So this is very whole life. So if we don't want to become such lower species in next life, then we follow Krishna's instructions given in Bhagavad Gita. And it is very difficult. It is very easy. When we are in the devotee. So you come here and you can learn from the devotees. There are so many devotees. You can learn from that how we can conduct life according to Krishna's instructions. How can we follow all these regulations in our family lives also. So it is there are thousands and lakhs of families now in our ISKCON community, those who are following these rules and regulations, and they are living their life happily, peacefully. But those who are not following Krishna's instructions, so they are suffering the reactions of their sinful deeds, and Maya is kicking them again and again on their face, and they are suffering so many problems of life. So this is the law of nature, and no one can avoid it. This Krishna has made this law. Just like in previous verses was described that by cooperation between men and demigods, prosperity will reign for all. And if we don't cooperate with demigods, Lord Vishnu, then we become thieves, sinful, and there will be peace and prosperity in the society of sinful people and thieves. So this is law. No one can avoid it. One may ignore, but because of ignorance, he will to suffer in fear. The whole reactions are awaiting for him in future. The material world is full of contaminations, and one who is immunized by accept prasadam of the Lord, food of Vishnu, is saved from the attack, whereas one who does not do so becomes subjected to contamination. So here again and Srila Prabhupada is telling in the purport that one who does not do so, or like one who does, one who offers food to Lord Krishna and then eats, then he is saved from attacks of Maya. There are so many attacks of Maya. If you know, there are three of, like these four things are the main problems: Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. And apart from these, there are three other miseries which are called Adhyatmic miseries and Adi Bhautik miseries, Adi Devik miseries. You must be knowing. So Adi Adhyatmic miseries, Adhyatmic klesha, which are because of our own and हमारा शरीर मन के कारण हमको झेलना पड़ता है. Just like we are very much distressed, so much distressed. Sometimes people commit suicide. That much stress is there on the mind, and some are very diseased, very much. So many diseases are there. So these are the problems created by own body and mind. These are adhyatmic problems. These I have given you two examples. There are lot many problems. And second comes Adi Bhautik problems. Adi Bhautik problem means the problems which are given by other living entities. Just like we may be very nice person, good behavior, अपने रास्ते से आते अपने रास्ते जाते किसी को कुछ बोल नहीं, but there will be many envious persons who will trouble us for no reason. For trouble us, they will abuse us. Just like some person is like drunk and like he just speaks all nonsense. He keeps on abusing people going there, and those who are like very good people, they don't pay attention, but still there is some stress on mind that why this person is abusing me without any reason. So many, and just like ants may bite us, mosquitoes may bite us. We are going on the road, but dogs starts barking. We become fearful of dogs, and there are so many terrorists. They throw bombs and 100 people die. So these are the problems created by other living entities, and these are the problems no one can avoid and no one wants to them. हम नहीं चाहते फिर भी हमारे ऊपर आता है और हम नहीं कर सकते. We cannot avoid all these problems. They will come. And third problem, and that is very dangerous, that is Adi Devik problem. Means the problems created by material nature, or you can say demigods. Because we don't offer sacrifices to demigods or don't worship Lord Vishnu. That's why gods becoming angry. They will send so many natural calamities, prakritik aapdaएं. It's like earthquakes. Recently there was a terrible earthquake in Turkey. And in 15 to 20 seconds, lakhs of people died. No one knows the actual count actually. They tell in news that so many people died, but no one knows count because so many people are like उनके मलबे के नीचे दब गए, मतलब मालूम ही नहीं है किसी को. So lakhs of people in 15-20 seconds, just in 20 seconds. So this is the way of nature. If we want to become subservient to the law, to the instructions of Lord Krishna or of Dharma, then we have such reacts. We cannot avoid, because we are not creator of all these things. Someone has created us, someone has given us, so we have become indebted to him, and we should pay back in some way. And the way is also told by Krishna, that you sacrifice. Sacrifices means not cutting the animals. That is not sacrifice. Sacrifice means the activity which is performed for the satisfaction of Lord Krishna. That is sacrifice. Yajna. This English word sacrifice is not actually proper. The proper word is yajna. Yajna means, yajna is the another name of Lord Vishnu. Or yajna means also the activity which is for the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu. So if we don't perform them, then we are like thieves, just is told. It's like we take loan from bank, and if we don't pay on time, then the bank has the rights to punish us and to capture our wealth or whatever we have. So similarly, Krishna has made this system that whatever we are getting, we have to pay back in the way of yajna. But if we don't pay back, then demigods have right, Vishnu has right to punish us in their own ways, and then we cannot do anything. So certainly, we are indebted to so many living entities. It is told in Srimad Bhagavad that Deva Bhutap Tarnina Pitam. Deva is demigod. We are indebted to demigods. Actually, ultimately, if we see, then we are indebted to Supreme Lord now, because everything come only. But if we are not ready to accept the authority of Lord Vishnu, Supreme Lord, then at least we accept that we are indebted to demigods. Demigods are providing us different necessities of life, like heat, light, water, air, everything. We don't make all these things. They are provided by demigods. We are indebted to demigods. Just like we take light from a municipality, city municipality, then we have to pay bill for that. Here we are getting whole day sunlight. So we should be thoughtful that for time we take light from the municipality, we have to pay so much bill, and we are taking sunlight, and we are not make anything. So we have to pay. And we are taking so vegetations we are acting. Just I told, food grains we cannot produce food grains. For producing food grains we need earth. First we have to sow in earth, then we have to wait for the rains. Water comes from rains. So rains, we don't create rains. Rains created by the mercy of the Lord. Then produce, and then we eat grains, and then we are to live life in whatever way we are living. So we are indebted to demigods, Lord Vishnu, and Dev Rishi. Rishi means sages. So we are indebted to Rishi. So it is told that because of the duties of Rishis, there is little peace and prosperity in this world. If they don't do tapasya, then because people have become so much sinful, the soul will be destroyed. Dev Rishi, Bhutapta. Bhuta means all the living entities. We are indebted to all entities. हमारे ऊपर सारे जो जीव हैं उनका ऋण है, because we are utilizing so many things from the nature which come from different living entities. So that's why we are indebted to so many living entities. Just like indebted to cows, we are drinking cows Narian milk. We are using cow urine, cow dung as medicines. So many things we are using from cows. So we are indebted to cows. Some just like dog protects us from unknown sons. So we are indebted to dog also. So similarly, we are indebted to every living entity. And that means relatives. So we are indebted to relatives also. Relatives give us pleasure in so many ways. Nrinam Pitrinam. Nrinam means all the humanity. To all the humanity we are indebted. Wherever we go in this world, then we take help of so many human beings. So just like we forget the way, we ask that how should we, then the person tells the way. So we are indebted to that person. And Pitranam, we are indebted to our forefathers also, that because of their austerities and pious activities, we have taken birth in their dynasty, their lineage. So we are indebted to, and we don't have that much strength to pay that debt. वो चुका हमारा इतना क्षमता नहीं है, अकेले हम लोग नहीं चुका सकते. एक जन्म की तो छोड़ो, even if we live for millions of lives, we cannot pay back this debt. So it is told that how we can pay it back. It's told Devarsi Bhutapta Nrinam na kinkaro nayam riniche rajan sarvatmana yah saranyam gato mukundam parihit kritam. That you can pay this debt in one shot, just by surrendering unto the lotus feet of Mukunda. Mukunda is the another name of Lord Krishna. Mukunda means one who gives mukti. So only Krishna you can give mukti. Other demigods, they cannot give mukti. They can give you some material benefits like money, husband, sons, and wealth, like this. But they cannot give mukti. Mukti can be given only by Krishna. Only Krishna right to give mukti. So his name is Mukunda. So as soon as we surrender fully to the lotus feet of Mukunda, then our all the debts are cleared in 1 second. There is no to serve any other living entity, this Devata, Rishi, Nirnam, Pitam, other living entities, relatives. No one. We just have to serve Krishna. Then our all debts are cleared. Just like even if we may have so many loans from so many banks, home loan, health loan, education loan, so many loans from so many banks, they are behind us, but we are not to pay back. But if we shelter of Prime Minister, and if he sanctions, if he tells that whatever loan he has got, they all be cleared, then immediately they will be cleared. That power the Prime Minister has. So we can imagine, even if the ordinary Prime Minister has that power, clear all the. So similarly, because Krishna is the supreme controller, yes, all these things are given by Krishna. So as soon as we tell Krishna, then all debts we have got from all the creatures of this creation, they all be cleared in 1 second. So we just have to surrender to Krishna. Sri Sri Radha Madhav ki, Sri Sri Jagannath Dev Subhadra Mai ki, Sri Sri Gaur Nit ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. So ultimately we have to surrender to Krishna, and whatever we do, we have to do for the pleasure of Krishna, according to Krishna's instructions. Then only our will be successful, and we will be called as, like, in this life we will be responsible human being, and in next life go back to our real home, Golok Vrindavan, that is spiritual world, and there is no problems. It's like it is called Vaikuntha. Kunta means problems, Vai means not. Vaikuntha means there is no problem. We will go to Vaikuntha. Till the time we are here, we have to go through so many problems. But as we work in Vaikuntha, then there will be no problem, and we will be always blissful, serving Lord Krishna here. And that is our position. It is said, Jivera Swarup hai Krishnera Nityadas. The living entities, whatever he is, the living entities, the only occupation, or you can say real position, is servant of Lord Krishna. He is eternal Lord Krishna. But as of now, we have forgotten service of Krishna. That's why Maya captured us, and Maya is forcing us to serve herself. And even though we are serving Maya with full enthusiasm, Maya is kicking on our face in the forms of different problems: birth, death, old age, disease, adhyatmic klesha, adi devi klesha, adi bhautik klesha. So these are the kicks of Maya, which Maya is kicking on our face. Even they are serving Maya with full enthusiasm. But if we transfer this enthusiasm to serve Krishna, then we will become free from all these kicks, and we will live fully blissful life. And for this age of Kali, it has been made very, very simple, because people of Yuga are very fallen. So for them it has been very, very simple, just by chanting the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Just by chanting these holy names, this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we can become free from the service of Maya, and we can serve Lord Krishna. This is the easiest and the utmost way of serving in the Kali Yuga. It is said, Naam kichu nahi ko aro, 14 bhuvan majhe. This world is 14 planetary systems. Just like this is Bhuloka. Below that there is Sutal, Talatal, Vital, Atal, Patal. Slightly above Swarglok, Mahalok, Satyalok. There are different lokas. There are 14 lokas, 14 planets. And if we just wander from upper planetary systems to lower planetary system, we will not find anything sublime than holy name. So till the time we are living happy and healthy, try to accumulate this wealth more and more, as much as possible, by chanting this holy name. And we should try to accumulate more and more. And as much as we accumulate this wealth of chanting the holy name, that much quickly, that much fast, we will be transferred to our real, that is Golok Vrindavan. So if we want to be transferred to Golok Vrindavan, where the life is very, very full, there is no kuntha, no problem at all, then we have to the holy name. His Chaitanya Prabhu very mercifully has given this simple process just by saying, and there is no need to become sannyasi for this. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Grihe thako bane thako sahari boko, that whether you live in forest sannyasi or may live in house as a householder, grahastha, but you just chant this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and you will become free from cycle, death, old age, and disease. So it is. And there are no rules and regulations. There is no limit of like, there is no, we can say, limits of time and circumstances. Anywhere, anytime, anyone can chant this holy name. And without any, बिना खर्चे के हम जो हमारा टॉप मोस्ट हमारा लक्ष्य है गोलोक वृंदावन कृष्ण प्रेम हम प्राप्त कर सकते हैं. वी कैन गेट दैट विदाउट एनी एक्सपेंस. देयर इज नो एक्सपेंस इन चैंट these names. We can chant freely. One may say we have to put beads and bead back, that we have to pay money, but there is no need to purchase that also. Without that also can chant the holy name. Just on fingers we can count, and we should try to chant as much as possible, more and more, more and more. Srila Prabhupada has told minimum 16 rounds one has one chant list. If you chant 16 rounds, follow 4 regulative principles of no meat eating, no gambling, no illicit sex, and no intoxication, then I take you back to God. I will take you to Goloka, he says. So, if you just follow the instructions of Srila Prabhupada, simply, if you are successful, and we will go back very easily. We don't have to work so hard. For Maya service, we have to work so hard. We have so many difficulties. But for Krishna, it is very easy. In one place, where means चलते फिरते सोते जागते उठते बैठते खाते पीते भी हम लोग भगवान का नाम जप कर सकते हैं, गुनगुना सकते हैं. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. So, just like people, they murmur filmings. So, in place of that, we can murmur this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and you will yourself feel the pleasure out of it, and feel yourself purified, and so many other benefits. And ultimately, you will be purified gradually, and ultimately you will go backward. So, please chant the name. Those who are chanting, it is what they should increase and try to chant sincerely. Those who are not yet started, please start from onwards chanting of these holy names. Then, in the eyes of scriptures, you become intelligent person. Who is intelligent? It is in Bhagavatam, Yagya Sankirtana Prayer Yajanti hi Sumedasa. One who performs this yagya of chanting the holy name. The chanting of the holy name, Hare Krishna Mahamantra का जब भी एक यज्ञ है, ये कलयुग के लिए प्रिस्क्राइब्ड यज्ञ है, कलयुग के लिए बताया गया यज्ञ. If one performs this yagya, he is called Sumedasa. Sumedasa very very intelligent. बहुत बहुत बुद्धिमान व्यक्ति कहा जाता है जिसको, जो ये कलयुग में हरिनाम जप का यज्ञ है. He is very intelligent. So as soon as you start chanting holy name, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, you become the most intelligent person in the world. One thing is, so please become intelligent and chant these holy name, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And if you feel that I don't have any strength, any power to chant this Hare Mahamantra, then we have to beg the mercy of Panch Tattva. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita, Shivadi, Gaur Bhakt Vrinda. These are the 5 persons who gave these names. This Supreme Lord came in 5 forms. It's called Panch Tattva. So we should chant this mantra one time and then Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So we have one mantra card. In that both mantras there. Those who have not started the name, they can take that mantra and chant the first this Panch Tattva mantra time and this Hare Krishna Mahamantra as many times possible. So thank you very much for patiently hearing. If anyone has a question, we can take question. Anyone has any question? Yes. Mantra cards after class. After class, you can take from him. Madhur Prabhu, can you give him mantra card? Not after class. Okay, he will give you. And those who want, he can give you. Madhav will give you. So please take and start chanting the holy name. Any question? So you all are very intelligent, to everything. So please start chanting the holy name. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Nande.